Hi mamas, it's Amandela, and I'm super excited because my kid just turned 1. Yes, we survived 1 year. But even more exciting than that, I've been pumping and nursing for 1 year, 12 whole months. And so, like, 12 months was really my goal. So right now we're actually working on weaning, which is a struggle in itself. It's all good. We'll get through it. But before I close this chapter out in my life, I just wanted to share with you all some of my struggles and some of the new things that have happened in the last couple of months as we work to wrap our journey up. So if you want to learn more about our journey, you got a couple minutes, stay tuned. Alright, mamas, I apologize for the noise in the background. It's raining. If it rains really hard, I'll just stop it. But I'm about to get all up in your face here. And so I did a video a couple of months ago because my milk production seemed to have decreased. But more importantly than that, I had a pump go out and I needed a pump really fast, and I found one that I really liked. And I reviewed it in the last video, so if you have not checked that video out, please be sure to. It's still a really good pump. But I got introduced to a new one that works really, really well, and is a little bit more convenient for me. So it may be more convenient for you. So I thought I would share how it's changed my pumping breastfeeding journey these last few months. Before we get started, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. I don't produce videos often, but when I do, they are really good, so I don't want you to miss out. Go ahead and subscribe right now, okay? If you have any questions throughout this video, if you want more information about what I'm talking about with regards to the product, or if you have questions about my particular experience, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please let me know. I like good feedback. If you didn't like this video, let me know. Keep it real with me, and I'll keep it real with you. But anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, ladies, what I wanted to talk to you about is my newest best friend, the Motif Duo. I have been using this pump for the last few months, and I'll back up and kind of share how we got here. The Spectra that I reviewed in the last video is great. It's awesome. I still love it. I don't use it as much, but I still love it. But I was asked to, if I knew about the pump and if I wanted to try it out. Of course I do. I like trying new things. But anyhow, I've tried it out, and I kind of want to give you some feedback on what I think about it. And so at first I did not entrust all of my pumping needs to the Motif Duo. I still continued to take my Spectra to work and to wherever I needed it, because I knew what kind of results I was going to get with it. After my first session with this pump, I wasn't convinced that it was going to be my pump, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. So I got the pump, I hooked it up because I was super excited, and at first the suction didn't feel as strong as the Spectra. I was like, okay, this is really weak. This is not working. And I'm a watcher, so I watch myself pump. You know, the actual expression going into the bottle. And they tell you don't watch. I'm sorry, I just have to watch. But anyways, I want to know that, you know, what I'm doing is worthwhile, you know. 10 minutes into the session, I only had about half an ounce on one side. I don't even think anything came out on the other side. And I normally pump for about 10 to 15 minutes, so it was a little depressing. I continued to pump for about 20 minutes that session, and I guess the stress of everything, I just didn't really express any more. I think I got an ounce total for a 20-minute session. And I don't pump longer than 15 minutes, so 20 minutes was kind of like the max, and I cut it off. Anyhow, that was not a good day for me in this pump. Very small, super cute, very convenient and portable, but it wasn't going to work. Well, the next day I said I'll try it again. I just made sure all of my attachments were hooked up correctly. and I started my session again, and I promised myself that I would not look at the bottles for about 5 minutes. That promise was broken because at about 2 minutes in, I looked at it. However, I calmed down super. I didn't think about, what happened the day before, and just did my thing. And so a couple of minutes in, I noticed a night and day difference, just because I had about half an ounce on each side in 2 minutes. In about 2 minutes. And so, anyhow, I continued to pump for my 12 minutes typically, what I do. And I had 2 bottles with 3 ounces on each side. Now, at 10 and 11 months of pumping, I typically only get about, 3 to 5 ounces total. So to get 3 ounces on both sides was pretty cool. And so expression is key, but the ability for it to help you express was even more important to me, because the first day I only got half an ounce on both sides, and now I'm getting something, even if I got like 2 ounces on each side, for someone or for me, everybody's journey is different, but for me, that's huge. That's super huge. 11 months, 10 months in the game. And so we had a good second day. What I came to figure out is everything I didn't like about the pump was everything I think a mom should want in their pump. So like I said before, I said that the suction was very weak. But in all reality, it wasn't really weak. It was just very gentle. It felt like a little tickle. So my mind tricked me into thinking that nothing was happening, but everything that needed to happen was happening. It just didn't require this really forceful sucking. And not that the Spectra was super forceful. It was comfortable. I turned it up to the setting that I was most comfortable at. It's just that no matter how high you turned this pump up to, it was very, very gentle. It was so much so that when I went to work the following day, because even though I had a good session on the second day, I was like, I don't know, like it may not work out when I get to work. Even so that I took my Spectra to work and I turned it on to my normal setting that I put my Spectra on, and it hurt. Like it was really, I was like, oh my gosh, I need my Motif back. I was in heaven. Like that felt great. This is not as comfortable as what I had last night. And so that's kind of where I stood with the Motif. It is a very comfortable, very gentle. So if you need a pump like that, this is a great pump. But if you do decide to get the Motif, pump as though you were pumping with any other pump that you've ever had. Just know that the suction in the expression mode is very, very gentle, which is a good thing. But don't let it freak you out, because as you know, if you stress out, you're not going to express as much as you want to express. And so just enjoy the great feeling of not feeling something tugging your nipple to get milk out. It's awesome. It's very good. But what I really, really like about it is not only that, but it's very, very portable. I just throw it in my purse, and I think that's why it's probably my go-to pump. It gives me the results that I want in a pump. It gives me the results I would get with my Spectra that I love so much. But I can just throw it in my purse, literally. The parts are big. They're normal. They don't have many tiny parts, which I like. It's pretty easy to assemble. It fits my bottles that I use for my baby. And I typically just put it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in my purse. And I can pump anywhere. I could pump in the car. I could pump here. I could pump at work. And I think that's really nice because it actually has an internal battery. I charged it up about 2 days ago, and it's probably got 2 bars out of the 3 left, which to me is really good, especially if you use it a lot. But to know that I don't even need to be near an electrical outlet to pump. I can pump literally anywhere. So yeah, I just throw it in my purse and I go. It is my go-to. But yeah, that's really it. It's very easy. There's only 4 buttons. I don't know how much easier it can get than that. You turn it on. You can switch between expression and massage mode, and you can adjust how strong you want the setting to be, or how soft you want it to be. It doesn't really matter what you put it on. There is a difference, I'm sure, but it's so gentle that you won't notice it, and it's all good. I'm cool with that. But this has kind of made a big difference in my last few months. It's definitely made pumping and nursing easier, especially since it seems for me to have gotten harder. Just you doing it for a year, like that's a long time. You have to like make time at work, make time at home, and in between all those times you have to nurse, and it can be exhausting and draining. And if you have to keep hooking up a whole bunch of stuff, and you got to be there and outlet, and you got to be in the right place, it can make it a little difficult. So that's why I am set with this one. If you have any questions, if you've tried it or you want to try it, please let me know. It's super affordable. The company that actually introduced me to this breast pump, they're actually the company that I worked with to get my first breast pump through my insurance company, which is kind of cool. So be sure to check with your providers to see if it's an option for you. It is definitely a good pump for new moms, for moms who are in the middle of their journey and they just want something to try that's different and is going to give them the same results, if not better. I definitely recommend the Motif Duo. Well, that's all I have for you. I told you to be brief. If you have any questions, like I said, please just let me know. Talk soon. Bye.